What is up, people of all different types of ages, races, genders, and even you other species out there watching this video? It's your boy, OmegaTechTalk, and we here to talk tech. So today I'm going to be talking about the beautiful and illustrious and wonderful world of IEMs versus headphones. And which one should you buy? Should you ditch your headphones or your gaming headset and pick up a pair of IEMs like all the cool little streamers and all the cool little gamers are doing these days? Or what? What's the deal? Well, I got y'all covered because, y'all have seen phone reviews from me. You've seen me talk about the PlayStation Portal and gaming products, and now man, I'm a jack of all trades because I'm also addicted to audio. So I kind of got a problem, but let my problem be useful to you. Let me spend all this money. Let me spend all these bands so that way I can help you guys out, and that way you guys know where to spend your money. But before I do that, there's something very important that I want to talk about this channel and audio in general. My goal is never to make you guys have that FOMO feeling. I don't want you guys to feel like you have to buy this stuff. I don't want you guys to feel like you gotta go out and buy this or buy that. This is just for if you are already in the market and want an actual consumer and an actual human being to tell you guys about these products and his experience with these products. That's really what I'm aiming for. And when it comes to audio, I see people fall into this trap so many times. You're never going to catch that dragon, right? Once you start getting into audio, you might be like, oh, well, let me get this pair of headphones. Let me get this IEM. Let me get this headset or whatever. And you're gonna be chasing this dragon forever that you're never gonna be able to catch. So please, if you are gonna get into audio, buy just one of these headphones, one of these IEMs that I'm about to recommend in this video, and just leave it at that, man. Because I promise you, once you start buying a bunch of other things and then you start saying, oh, well, let me go ahead and try this, let me go ahead and try that, you're never gonna be happy, bro. Just take it from me. I spent thousands of dollars on headphones and IEMs, bro. Don't do it, bro. Just don't do it. I like to do this shit because it's a passion of mine. I love audio. I love headphones. I love this stuff. So to me, it's no real big deal. But to the average person out there, bro, you don't need that shit. But let's go ahead and first of all talk about IEMs, which are, I think, catching a lot of steam, especially in gaming and streaming markets right now. But before I do that, real quick, I gotta tap in with the tech crowd. Y'all already know I'm a tech channel. I do multiple things. I am recording this video on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. I have not recorded a tech video on this iPhone yet. I've mainly been using my Android phone. So let's go ahead and let me know how you guys like this one. Y'all seem to really like the S24 Ultra camera in the PlayStation Portal review. So let me know how y'all feel in this one. Okay, so to talk about IEMs, we have to talk about a common misconception, and that is people not really understanding the difference between IEMs and earbuds. People sort of conflate the two, and I understand why. They're both these little bud things that you just pop in your ear. What's the difference really? And the main difference comes from IEMs being in-ear monitors, meaning they actually go inside of your ear and form a seal around your ear to get you better audio quality and better audio separation, whereas an earbud sort of sits around the rim of your ear, and when you put it in there, so it's not actually getting that insertion. A good way to look at this is looking at Apple AirPods versus AirPod Pros. You know how the AirPod Pros have the little condom on the top type shit? And that's what goes inside your ear. Whereas the regular AirPods don't have that. It's just all plastic and sits around the rim. That's gonna be the main difference. And generally, IEMs have the cable that wraps around your ear to get an even better secure fit. And then you pop that thing in there, and then you're good to go. So now that you understand the difference between IEMs and earbuds, what are some of the benefits of IEMs? Why would you even want a pair of IEMs? And I think one of the best reasons to get a pair of IEMs over headphones is that they're very small, very versatile, and portable. To add to that versatility, sometimes for some headphones, you might need something like a headphone amplifier, or you might have to use it at your desk or something like that because, maybe it's an open back and you can't really sit on the train or be on a plane wearing, an open back pair of headphones or whatever. So this is a lot more discreet. You just pull it out, boom, you pop that thing in, and then you're good to go. So that's definitely one of the major benefits to using an IEM. But what I think actually the best benefit to using an IEM is that to price to performance ratio, I feel like IEMs vastly outperform headphones from sub $200. I think if you're spending under $200 on an audio product to use at your desk for gaming or something like that, I think you should probably look at IEMs, because I haven't used a pair of headphones that have outperformed some of my $100 pair of IEMs that I own. For that like $100 price point. They just sound really good. Maybe it's because, there's just not that much going on here, so you can pack a lot of great sounding drivers and all that stuff in this little form factor and have it not be too expensive. So for me, that price to performance ratio is a huge bonus, especially for you guys out there that are looking to spend 20, 50 bucks on, a pair of headphones. I get that question a lot on my streams. People be like, yo, I got like, 50 bucks to spend on a pair of headphones. Like, what should I get? Or I got like 50 bucks to buy a headset. What should I get? And most of the time I'm like, don't do that. Get a pair of IEMs instead, because they're going to be way better. You can even get a pair of $20 IEMs that I feel like would sound better than like $50, $100 pairs of headphones. Like, the price to performance ratio is really, really high when it comes to IEMs. Another benefit could be, this is both a plus and a negative, these could be more comfortable for you. Some people don't really like having big ass headphones on their head. They don't like having that sensation. I just realized I had a magnet thing on my, I don't know how that got there. Yeah, but some people don't like having these big ass headphones on their head, and these are way more comfortable for like long periods of use. If you're gaming for hours or streaming for hours or whatever, a lot of people really tend to prefer having the IEMs because it's not as cumbersome as having like a big ass headset on. And because you don't have that big headset on, it's good for your hair too. Shout outs to the people that's not balding. There's not many of us left. Type shit, you feel something in the water. But if you do have hair, you're not gonna get that headset hair. You're not gonna get the valley in the top of your head type shit. The IEMs is gonna be popping in there nice, and you don't have to worry about all that. Like, for example, a lot of the times when I wear headphones, even if they're like considered a very comfortable headphone, if I can feel my ears like touching the pads or touching like the driver inside, it like drives me insane. Like I really can't stand it. It really, really bothers me. So sometimes like I hate that feeling so much, I'll just grab a pair of IEMs and pop them joints in, because I can't stand like that feeling of my ears. And maybe I got oddly shaped ears, but like on every headphone I have, like I feel that. Like even on my Sennheiser HD800s, which are these big ass ear cups and shit, like sometimes I can still feel that a little bit. And I feel like, I don't know, y'all tell me, do I got big ass ears? I feel like I got like normal ass ears, but I don't know, bro. It's something about it, it just be bothering me. So a lot of times I just rip that headset off. I'm like, fuck it, but pop it in the headphones. I'm keeping it pushing. And another great positive is that since these are meant to be portable, right? You don't need to use an amplifier for them. Or like, let's say you want to get a pair of headphones or just an audio product that you could use at your desk and use on your phone. Maybe you travel a lot, or maybe you just commute a lot, or maybe you just like going to school or college, whatever you're doing, and you want to be able to take something with you that sounds really, really good. IEMs are great for that, because with just, the little USB-C dongle for your phone, you just plug this into the USB-C dongle and it's going to sound great. You don't need anything extra. You don't need to spend an extra 100 beans, 50 beans or whatever on another little device to get the maximum audio quality out of your IEMs. So you just keep it pushing with that and you're good. Now this next thing you might like or hate about IEMs, I feel like I hear this differently from different people, but generally speaking, when you put the IEM inside your ear, the sound is going to sound like in your head, if that makes sense. Because like when you use a pair of headphones, right, like the sound is like coming from like around you type shit, because it's not like actually inside your ears. You get sort of a more sense of space when you're using headphones. So that might be a plus or a negative. It really depends on you. To me, I really don't mind it all that much. In fact, in some situations, I actually prefer it. Like if I'm playing like a competitive game, for example, sometimes having all that audio like inside my ears like makes me like pay attention more, and I'm able to pick apart certain details, or I'm able to like detect opponents coming and shit like that, which sometimes I might miss because there's so much going on in the headphone. Whereas like in an IEM, it's like a little bit more direct, a little bit more focused. And a lot of these IEMs have great detail retrieval and imaging. So even though it's like a small little IEM, it's like a small little plastic shell and beaming the audio into your ear, a lot of times you can still hear what's going on and get that sense of space, even though it is, that small, which is, pretty cool. But just because I talked a lot of good about IEMs doesn't mean they don't come with their fair share of downsides. And the number one downside is that these things are easy to lose and break. Now, I have never broken a pair of IEMs, and I would consider myself to be, honestly, almost downright disrespectful with the shit I own, to be honest. Like, the way I see it, bro, like, I'm spending all this money on some shit and I wanted to toss it around or whatever, it should be able to handle all that. And if it doesn't, well, then fuck you, I'm never buying from you again. Like, ain't no way you about to charge me like a few $100s for some plastic molding and I can't just like throw that shit on my desk or like, you know, treat it a little unfairly, you know. I'm not gonna like purposefully start bashing this shit against the wall, but if I wanted to, you know, throw that shit in my bag or whatever and not have to worry about putting it in the case, it should be able to handle that. Now, with that being said, obviously a lot of these manufacturers that are making these IEMs, in order to keep the prices down, they are being manufactured sort of cheaply in Chinese factories or whatever. And sometimes a lot of the cheaper ones can be susceptible to breaking and stuff like that. So you might want to be a little bit more careful with those. But for the most part, I think you should be fine. And with the easier to lose thing, that is definitely true, because I was looking for these bad boys before I started streaming. These are my favorite IEMs. I'll get into these later. But I was looking for these right before my stream. I couldn't fucking find them. So, or not my stream, this video. I couldn't find them. So that happens to me a lot. But then again, I lose everything, you know. Once you get into your 30s, bro, you just get dementia. I don't know what it is. Another bad thing with IEMs could be the actual cables or the ear tips that come in the box. Now, for the cables, I've had hit or miss experiences. Some IEMs I've owned have had like great cables with them, and some have been like pretty piss poor. I think generally if you're getting one of the cheaper models of an IEM, you should probably add maybe an extra 10 to 15 bucks on top of that price, so that way you can get yourself some good ear tips and a good cable. And that makes a lot of difference, because with the IEMs, the best part about them is that comfort, right? So you don't want, you know, a heavy cable that's gonna drag down your ear and start to fatigue. You don't want a bad material on the cable that's gonna cause some irritation over here. So I highly recommend just springing an extra 10, 15 bucks on top of your purchase, so that way you get maximum comfort. Now, if you're looking for recommendations, I would say for the cable, I would get this one. I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm just gonna pop that up on the screen. That's what I get for all of my IEMs. Literally every single one of my IEMs is using this. Now, before you get one of those, you're gonna have to know which pin connector you have to use for your IEM, so that way you can plug in the right cable. Generally, it's either gonna be a 2-pin or an MMCX, I think is what it's called. But you'll be able to very easily tell which one it is. If you look at the bottom of your IEM and there's 2 little holes after you take out the cable, you know what to look for. Or even with the cable your IEM came with, just take off the cable. If I can, there we go. Take off the cable, look at what it looks like, go on that listing on Amazon, and then just match it to what looks similar. And then for ear tips, my absolute favorites are the SpinFit W1. They kind of have like this grippy texture to it, so it helps stay in your ear a lot more. And they're also the absolute most comfortable ones for me. And that's what I would recommend you guys go ahead and cop if you're looking to get those replacements. One last little problem you might run into with IEMs is that the cables are not super long. So if you're using these at your desk, you might want to get like a little 3.5 millimeter extender. But, you know, again, that's up to you. You may not even need that. Okay, now let's get into some IEM recommendations. Now, again, I'm a little bit of an audio slut, so I have never really been in the market for some of the lower end IEMs. When I was getting into IEMs to see if I even liked it, I did get the Blonde B03. This was like a couple years ago. That was kind of like a go-to recommendation at the time. Like, hey, maybe you'll like this shit. Go ahead and cop these. So that's what I started with, and I think those were like $20 to $30 around there. Now the IEM game has changed significantly. There's like literally a new groundbreaking IEM being made like every week, it seems like. So it's really hard to keep up with IEMs. But if I were to do it all over again and I were to try to get into IEMs again, I would probably start with the Moondrop Chew 2. That would probably be the one that I would go with. I think those start at like 20 bucks. And the good part about those is that the tips they come with are actually really good. So you don't even need to spend extra to get different ear tips. You might still want to replace the cable. That depends on you. You know, maybe it'll be fine for you. Most people might just like it. Who cares? They don't really care about that type of stuff. But I would probably replace the cable on them, but the tips they come with are reportedly very good. Again, I've never used them, I can't really tell. Now, if you were looking to go a little bit above that, I would probably go for the Truth Ear Zeros. These are a collaboration with another audio YouTuber by the name of Critical, and they're pretty much like the go-to recommendation for around that $50 price tag. One thing to note about these though is that they're kind of big, so they might cause some pain, and that's another thing I forgot to talk about in the negatives. Having something in your ear for a prolonged period of time could cause a lot of pain. Like for me, these do cause pain after like maybe 2 to 3 hours. There are some times where I wear them 8-10 hours for one of my streams or whatever, and I'm fine, but it's going to cause some pain, especially if you're getting a big IEM. Like this one, for example, is fucking massive. So this one be causing me a lot of pain. And fucked up part is, to alleviate that, I even bought a pair of these Sennheiser ones, which are really, really small, supposed to be the most comfortable, but I can just never get a good seal with these IEMs, and they always like pop out of my ears, and I always gotta like readjust them and reposition them to get good sound. Maybe they're just too small for my ear holes. I don't know what it is. Maybe I don't know. I haven't found the perfect IEM in terms of comfort for me, but hey man, such is life, bro. After that, if I were to go above the $50 price tag, there are some other IEMs to consider. And again, there are literally hundreds of IEMs in these price ranges that are probably better than the ones that I'm talking about. Again, I don't have necessarily the most experience when it comes to the lower end stuff. I'm usually shopping for maybe a little bit more mid-range, high-end stuff. So just bear with me on that, but I think these recommendations I'm giving y'all will be more than good enough. If you're looking for like the $100 plus price range, I have actually owned this. I still own them. These are the, I don't know how to pronounce this, God forgive me, the Lechuer, I think that's how you say that. The S12 Pros, I actually do have these, and these are amazing, especially if you like games, because they have like a lot of like detail in them. They're very like a sharp sounding headphone, which some people may not like, but I kind of like a bright sounding headphone or IEM, and that's what these are. So they're gonna sound very, very detailed. They have a decent sound stage too, so you're gonna be able to like hear your sense of space, and you're gonna be able to like pick apart enemies and shit like that if you're playing an FPS game. I really did like these a lot. And if you're looking for a little bit above that, I also own these, and I absolutely love this IEM. This is the Kiwi Ears Orchestra Lite, and this IEM to me feels a lot like a headphone. Like that, the sense of space and detail and imaging you get from this IEM is like phenomenal. It really feels immersive when I'm wearing this. And if there was one IEM that I would choose that's like the best for like gaming in a sense, I mean, at the end of the day, audio is audio, it's gonna be fine. But when I played games with this IEM, it felt like there was no compromises. Like it felt really, really good. The only negative with them is that most IEMs kind of have like a vent system on the back or on the side or somewhere on it to like alleviate some of that air pressure, but these don't. So this may bother you. It kind of takes some getting used to for me. Like when I first put them in, it kind of almost has like this vacuum seal effect. It's not as bad as I'm making it sound, but you're going to notice it. And it was odd at first. It took me a while to get used to it, but once you get used to it, it's fine. And I would actually say that these are also a very comfortable IEM. I really liked using this IEM. Next up from that, I would probably look at the Moondrop Variations. I actually got these used on eBay for like, I think $300 and something. If you can get the Moondrop Variations for like $300, I think that's a no-brainer. Like, I would definitely 100% jump on that. They just sound very pleasing. Whether you're watching a movie or listening to music or playing games on these are going to sound immaculate. Like they really do sound amazing. My only negative with them is that they're like a tad bit shouty, but I think a lot of IEMs kind of suffer from that. So, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, I absolutely love these. And I truthfully think that if you were to get like a pair of Moondrop Variations, I don't think the upgrades you get after this are really that worth it. To a lot of people, the upgrades you get after a $50 IEM aren't worth it. And I would probably say that's true. You know, that diminishing returns be beating your ass. Now, my favorite pair of IEMs that I've owned, I will say this. This is not only my favorite pair of IEMs, this is maybe one of my favorite headphones in my collection. And I own headphones that cost you know, $1,000. I mean, these also cost like $1,000, but I didn't spend $1,000 on them. That's the thing. You feel me? You gotta shop smart. That's the fucked up part. You gotta hunt for them deals, go on them Reddit threads, go on eBay and shit, you know, lowball motherfuckers on eBay. I don't know, but do something. I am never spending full price for a headphone ever, bro. Fuck that. I'm getting my deal up. But yeah, these are the Thea Audio Monarch Mark III. And I absolutely love this IEM. With every other audio product I've ever bought, whether it was a microphone, a headphone, an IEM, a gaming headset, there was always something that I'm like, I don't really love this. Like I could turn my head and look elsewhere. I could cheat on this headphone. This is the only one I've ever bought in where I was like, I don't know what else I would need in an IEM. The only negative to this IEM is that they're very big and chunky. So these things be stretching the ear holes. You feel what I'm saying? You be getting stretched open type shit. But they sound immaculate. Like I don't know how an IEM could possibly sound better than these. I absolutely love this IEM with all my heart and soul. And ever since I got these, I haven't even looked at another IEM. Except I kind of lied. I am a little bit of an addict. I kind of want the Sony Z1R IEMs just because I hear that they're so fun and I like fun. So like the boy is thinking, like the boy think he the thinker type shit. But again, you don't need these. I think most people, most regular people are not really gonna be able to tell that much of a difference from like the $50 IEM I recommended and this $1,000 one, okay? Like you really gotta train your ears. You really gotta be a nerd. You really gotta be a pretty much a fucking loser to like get into this hobby and to like pinpoint the little details. No one gives a shit, dude. Spend $50 on that IEM and it'll be the last fucking audio product you ever need. You'll be fine, dude. Even the $20 IEM, you'll be fine, bro. Like, trust me, IEMs are really good for the price to performance ratio. You don't need to go out and splurge all of this money on this. Just don't do it. I was gonna make this video IEM versus headphone comparison and like talk about headphones as well, but I've already been yapping for so long, so I might save the headphone video for later and do the same thing that I did for this video with IEMs, but just do it for headphones, talk about the pros and cons of headphones, whether you should get a headphone or an IEM or whatever. But I think we can leave it at this. I think I made the case for IEMs. I think if you were in the market for an IEM, hopefully I convinced you that it's a good idea to go ahead and get an IEM, because a lot of the times they're just more convenient and a lot less in the way. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I greatly appreciate that. If you guys have any other recommendations, or if you guys want me to make videos on anything else, you know, feel free to leave that in the comments down below. Are you using IEMs? What are your favorite pair of IEMs? Do IEMs interest you? Are you sticking to headphones or headsets or whatever? Let me know whatever you want to let me know in the comments. Anyways, this has been Omega Tech Talk, and thank y'all for talking tech. I'll see you in the next video.